He was like, hey man, I've got an hour or two to burn today. Do you want to go look at something? I'm like, sure, I guess. What do you want to go look at? He's like, well, I want to go look at Grandpa's old tractor, the one over at your brother's house. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. I'll be there in 30. So, currently on my way over to my brother's house, and we're going to take a gander at this tractor. So, it's my grandpa's John Deere 4010 diesel tractor. What he believed it spun a bearing. So then he parked it. But by the time he parked the 4010, my uncle and my dad both had tractors there on the farm, so the 4010 could sit. You know, we didn't need it. We had the Massey 2775 and we had the John Deere 4440. Like we had enough to be dangerous, you know. So, and the 60, we still used the 60 then. So, anyways, long story short, I'm on my way over to my brother's house. We're going to take a quick gander at this 4010. And my brother bought, well, my dad actually bought a used engine for that tractor. And our plan was just to take all the internals out of the new engine and put it in the existing engine. So it's a project we've been milking out for quite a while, and I think we're starting to get to the point where it's like, all right, we need to pull this thing out of retirement. It's had a good run, but now it needs to do something. So, but to digress, like I said, we're going to get there, we're going to have a good time, we're going to see what we can't mess up. All right, all right, welcome back. So I already kind of made a small video explaining what my plan was for the day. So behind me here is Grandpa's John Deere 4010. So it hasn't ran in probably
15.
At least 15 years. By the way, I got my cousin Matthew sitting back there. He's currently taking fuel lines off so we can get the injector lines off so we can get the head off. So what they believed happened was they believed they spun a bearing or something along that nature. So they took the bottom end off the tractor and inspected the, I would imagine they inspected the main bearings and the crankshaft bearings, excuse me, the connecting rod bearings. And I could only assume, because I was really little when this happened, so I don't even remember exactly the story. But I do know that they inspected the bottom end, and the bottom end was not the problem. So they had to continue their search, and in the process, it just sat, and nothing ever got done with it. So my cousin Matthew and I, we decided we're tired of watching this thing just sit and rot. We're going to see about trying to piece this back together enough that we can actually use this tractor again without it just being a lawn ornament. So I do have a bunch of parts. We found this engine out of state that came out of another 4010. This block has been welded on. I'm not a huge fan of that. I genuinely believe that block is still good. I'm gonna put some gauges on it after we get it all disassembled, make sure everything is Gucci there. But for right now, we have this used engine with used parts. If we can kind of take all this and put it into that and make it do the thing, then I'm content with that. So I'm not gonna film everything we do this engine. I'll just kind of show you a little what we got going on right now, and then you guys can kind of understand what our plan is. So as you can see, he's currently trying to take fuel lines off. We already got the valve cover off, and yes, this thing is filthy and dirty. We should have gave it a bath, and we did not. 15 years of dirt and other gunk has accumulated on this thing from just simply sitting. So, best part was it didn't have the fuel cap on it either. So, who knows how long this thing's been sitting without a fuel cap on it. I don't even want to look down in that tank. So, he's currently working on getting the fuel lines off so we can get the injectors off. And then once the injectors are off, we can start getting, we'll address the valve train, and then we'll see about getting the head off. So, once we get to that point, we'll show you guys where we're at. All right, so a little bit of update on the 4010. So we've got everything off, head bolts are out, all that jazz. Everything's removed. We got the fuel lines off the injection pump, the injector's out. All the silly shit that we needed to get off to be able to get the head off so we can inspect the top end here is gone. So we can now, we're not going to take the exhaust manifold or the intake manifold. We weren't going to take any of that off. We were going to try to take it all off with the head, which is probably going to be a mistake because that'll add another 100 pounds to this head. That's okay. So we're going to pop these off, and as soon as this head's off, I'll grab you and we'll look inside the cylinders and see how they look.
Can you drag it? Oh, it break my hand there. You went a little loose.
Yep. Can you get that bolt out?
Oh, hold on. Let me go a little more.
We'll get the bolt out and then we'll go. So that way that bolt's not hanging up on nothing.
Yes, but if you turn it
You go
long
in here
ways,
and crush your starter.
That's all
When
right.
you bring this one in.
Holy shit.
What's this? A lot of these bolts are coming right off.
Yeah, we might be able to take that intake off, dude. I don't know.
there ain't no doubt in my mind both of them will come off.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it on it.
I will. But I'm not gonna bet $1,000 it will, but
Here's the thing. I bet you $10, and you painted the $10, but then I gotta help you fucking put candles on it and everything else to get it out after it's broke. I don't think it's gonna be worth $10. Fucking candles. That's
I don't
what it
know
is.
the candles.
Never done candles?
Yeah, the candles or the cranes.
Candle trick is the best trick. So you heat
Wax.
that up, the oils and the wax won't burn away. You know, if you have that hot and you spray WD-40, it just burns. Candle, you get that hot, you just shove a candle on it, let all that shit go down in there. It's the best way of getting bad bolts out. That's what we did to the 60 head.
That looks like the crustiest bolt we got on here.
Leave it on there.
Yeah.
That's just one.
Yeah, let me just. Oh yeah, she's mad.
I still don't trust it, damn it.
I do.
Oh, it ain't adding that much weight.
Okay, so before we go any further, where is this going?
Right there till we deal with it.
the ground.
Put the manifold side down.
Typically, you want to stand them straight
Yeah.
up and down.
We'll figure that out.
Well-
It ain't gonna stay on the ground for long. We'll deal with it after we get her on the floor.
Oh yeah, that's all nice and easy. Wheel and shit.
Okay, keep that over there till I can get on the other side of this. So I can hold it better. Okay, Joe. You ready? Yep. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right. Boy, that cylinder looks like it was washing something, doesn't it? See how shiny that cylinder is compared to the rest of them? That's an issue. I mean, really?
You seen
Cylinder.
No, these are fairly new sleeves.
That's made.
Oh, they already took that one off.
Yeah, that one's loose. So that's a crankshaft. Ugh.
Who took that off?
Somebody took that off years ago. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure that rings a bell.
Cause isn't this here where your bearing goes on?
Yes. And with the crankshaft being like that, that's not good. That's gonna score that fucking bearing up and just fucking wreck it in a heartbeat.
Yes.
We can try to buff it up as best we can, hope for the best.
Does the other shaft look any better?
I don't know. It's in the box over here.
It's not in oil either.
Okay, so since that cylinder is loose, or that piston's loose.
That's piston number 1.
Can you? Technically, they always say the first cylinder is towards the front of the tractor.
1, 2, 3.
So that should be cylinder 5 that's loose.
No, I thought it was 6.
No, 6 is still attached.
Okay. Well, shove up on it. Or do you want me to shove it down?
No, don't shove down.
That wasn't a good sound.
That was part of the hammer splitting.
Oh, good.
Oh hell, this thing's got a fucking PTO shaft down here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Four-wheel drive?
If you want.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was designed to be able to hook up like a, what I'm trying to say, like a snow blower or something like that. In fact, I'm not sure they didn't make a belly mounted sickle mower hooked up right there.
Any movement, Lowell?
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Alright.
3.
Yeah, we just gave her another tap for good measure. Well, that's all.
Like another 4 taps, good measure.
Oh, yeah.
Snap rings in on both sides on that one.
That's what we were checking.
Yeah, the wrist pin's still in one piece, and the rings don't look too hored out.
I can't believe the moisture in there.
I want to pop this one off.
Yes.
This is the one I want to see. That shiny, how shiny that cylinder is.
Yep.
That was burning something it shouldn't have been.
Hey, Joel, should these have play in them?
They may already have. What do you mean by play? They'll have some side-to-side play, but they may have taken some of these bolts out already.
Okay, because none of the others are doing that, and this one here is.
Yeah, having that much slop, it sounds like those bolts are already loose.
Is that scar on your bearing?
There'll be a little wear on it.
No, they're okay.
This fucker feels rough.
Then it could be.
I don't know what a good one's supposed to be like.
Goes cap. Bolt.
I don't know what a good one's supposed to be like. That's why I'm learning here, boys.
Oh yeah, it's. Ain't gonna, there it stopped.
Okay, so I heard it hit something. Am I hitting the
Setting
connecting
crank.
shaft? Am I setting in the crank, or can I go past the crank a little
No, not like the other one you could have. This one, the crank is on the top.
bit? Okay.
So we'd have to go up a good bit to make it go over here
Well,
past the crank.
I'm just wondering if the connecting rod is catching the wall of the cylinder.
It might be. That's why I was wondering if we could rotate it a little bit. That's what I was
Which
getting at with
direction?
rotating.
So if we rotated it, which direction does it need to go? If the crankshaft out of the way enough, you can get something on that.
I think so. It's definitely pointed straight up more than it was. Where'd that block go?
Down there beside you.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. It popped up. I got a 1/4 inch sticking out. There you go. A little more. You almost got to the rings. Yep. A little more.
I can get the hammer down.
There she goes. She's free. She's free.
I'm just kind of holding it with the block now. Got her?
Okay.
I think it was the bearings. Because like you said, those bearings were shot, weren't they?
Yeah, they had some wear on them for sure.
So do you think maybe we had a bad head gasket right here and that's why this one was washed out?
No, that's bad injector.
Yeah, so basically if the injector can't spray properly and atomize, it'll just dump raw fuel into it without it atomizing, and it'll
And
have
the fuel-
globs of fuel, and it basically acts like a detergent. And it'll,
Yeah, it cleans it.
Yeah.
It's like when you rub diesel fuel on your hands to clean off the oil. That's all that it was doing then.
Yeah, basically. All right, so we got the shiny piston out, the one that had a clean top, which kind of raised an eyebrow. We started looking. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but if you get down in there and look, you'll see those little shiny spots, the little shiny bits by the hole. That's bearing material. That bearing material transferred on there. So basically what happened is there was too much heat, not enough oil, and the bearing started fusing with the actual con rod itself. Find a good place to shove this thing. Matthew, bend over. Drop that right there so it can fall over later.
So what does this tell you at this moment? What do you think, Joe?
It's really kind of hard saying, to be quite honest.
That bearing being like that, would that cause a knock?
Potentially. That bearing had a bunch of wear on it.
It doesn't help, and that excess fuel could have been causing a
And the
knock.
excess fuel could have been causing what was known as a diesel knock.
But it didn't really.
Injector knock.
Injector knock, yes.
It didn't really. It didn't sound like an injector knock. I got a complete engine in them two grids.
So at this moment, would you be sitting here saying, swap all the pistons, all the connecting rod bearings, all the injectors?
I wouldn't swap pistons.
You wouldn't swap them? Okay.
No, because those were brand new pistons when he
Okay,
done it.
okay.
Now the rods,
The connecting rod,
I'd probably at least change out one.
that connecting rod.
Yep.
We probably need to take the rest of them apart to check all the bearings. Right?
More or less.
Yes. You're this far. Take them all apart. Make sure the bearings are good.
And those bearings should be usable with the connecting rods?
No, we're gonna order new bearings.
Okay.
All right, so I realized I didn't really make an outro for the John Deere 4010. So I'll kind of give you a little quick rundown what our future plans are for it. So as you saw, we got into the, tear down aspect where we started digging in and investigating what was going on with that tractor, is the reason why we parked it. So I believe what the plan is, my cousin Matthew, he is going to, he's in the middle of harvest right now. So him and his dad, they're harvesting. The farmer he works for, they're harvesting right now. So he's a little tied up. So the plan is, once harvest is pretty well done, he wants to circle back and try to keep working on that 4010. So I don't really have intentions on going over there and messing with it without him being present. I want him to be a part of that. So like I said, the future plan as of now would be we're going to separate the tractor, and then we're going to start checking the block. And then once the block's all good, we're going to start assembling, taking parts from the old engine. We are going to buy a bunch of new stuff for it, and we're going to take usable parts from the parts engine that we bought and see if we can't piece this one together. So outside of that, it's really all I got. So stay tuned for that one. That one probably won't be for a while, but yeah, like I said, just stay tuned, and I'm sure we'll have more content on that 4010 soon.